welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you the newest collection from Bee's Knees Lacquer. This is their Elden Ring Part 1 collection. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up now if you're excited to see me swatching for Bee's Knees Lacquer again. Swatching for them again, I feel personally like my world is right now. Like, I have missed them so much. I've missed sharing them on my channel so much. So thank you to the Bee's Knees Lacquer team for sending these my way. It is a really beautiful collection. So a little bit of information about this collection. It's gonna release on June 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a 9-piece collection with a big variety of finishes. We've got lots of shifting shimmers, some kind of iridescent sheer flakies. But if you like more opaque finishes, we've got those too. There are some really beautiful saturated shifting shimmers in this collection, a multi-chrome, and some lion cousin siblings. There's not going to be any limit on the number of polishes you can purchase from this collection. And there will also be some overpours available from the Heartless Hunter, the Crimson Moth, and a Tempest of Tea mystery bags. There won't be a full collection option to purchase for this release, and there will also be a 15% off site-wide sale going on when this launches. Pre-order for this collection will end on June 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, that was a lot of information. I will leave it all down in the description box as well so you can review as needed. But yeah, there are 9 really interesting and beautiful shades, so let's go ahead and check them out. I decided to group them together by finish for this video. This first one is called Where Am I? It's the only multi-chrome in this release, and this is a new emerald to blue to purple multi-chrome that shifts red and orange at extreme angles. It's going to be $14. So this one had a beautiful formula. Pretty opaque on this first coat. You can see the base is clear and those multi-chrome particles are like micro flakes. I love multi-chromes like that because I just feel like they give this beautiful seamless kind of feel. On the second coat, I had very close to full opacity. If your nails are about my length or shorter, I think you could get away with 2, but I did add 3 and couldn't see my nail showing through at all. This one had a beautiful formula, very easy to work with, and the shift is out of this world. I'm really excited for this video. I was able to get lots of variety with where I showed the polish in the full hand shot. So here's what it looks like in my studio lighting. You can see it shifting from that blue to purple to kind of like aqua. They call it an emerald, but it definitely looks green, but it looks kind of like tealy. In certain lightings as well. It's just a beautiful multi-chrome. This shade made me remember how much I adore multi-chromes. I hardly ever wear them and I need to. So here's what it looks like in 3 coats with a glossy top coat in sunlight. And you can see it's super shifty, very shiny and chromy feely there. And then here's what it looks like in lower outdoor lighting. Just beautiful. Continuing on with some shimmers, there are a lot of those in this release. This first one is called Is Cailead, and it's described as being a rich scarlet with strong green to purple micro flake shimmer. It's gonna retail for $14, and it comes with a warning that it may stain. Personally, I didn't get any staining with any of the polishes in this release, but I didn't keep them on more than like half a day. So, you know, wear a base coat. Just wear a base coat. This one had a beautiful formula as well. Although it was sheer and had like a jelly squishy kind of feel, it was pretty pigmented and you can see that nail line blurring already on the first coat. On the second coat, you get a better scarlet color. It's so rich, so bright and summery. Oh my gosh, seeing this is making me want to put on this shade again. I did build it up to 3 coats and got very close to full opacity. And bright lighting, I think with this one you could see my nail line just a little bit, but I was way too distracted by the beautiful shifting shimmer. The blue and the green in this bright reddish pinky base, it pops. And like, yes, this is the kind of color I've been just craving in these warmer months. Look at that green shift, like, oh my gosh. And this one did not let me down. Here's what it looks like in 3 coats with a glossy top coat in sunlight. And yeah, you can see that nail line peeking through just a little bit, especially if you've got longer nail length, you will definitely see it. And here's what it looks like in lower lighting. So, so pretty. The next shade is called Let's See the Stars. This one is a rich blurple base with a soft blue shimmer, and it's going to be $14. I also forgot to mention that none of my swatches, video, photos, application, none of them feature any kind of base coat or like, I don't know, gel nails or overlays or anything. It's just my natural nail and no base coat. So you're getting a good look at what the opacity is on each polish. So Let's See the Stars had a beautiful kind of creamy formula. I haven't seen this finish from Bee's Knees Lacquer in a little while, where it's like a more creamy base and a subtle shimmer, but the color for this was beautiful. It was so, so pretty. I tried to stick with 3 favorites for this video. I'll share those at the end, but this could have easily been among them. It's just such a glorious color, and I feel like this kind of periwinkle cornflower blue looks amazing on everyone. Again, this finish was just such a shock to me because I don't think about creamy shimmers with Bee's Knees, but I love that they're trying new things, and I think this one was a home run. If you like a soft, more subtle shimmer, you are going to love this one. So here's in sunlight with a glossy top coat and 3 coats, and then here's what it looks like in lower lighting. Up next, we have a shade called Torrent. This one is a mix of a gray and taupe base with silver to blue metallic shimmer. So continuing on with our shimmers, and even though we have so many shimmers in this release, they are all so drastically different, which I love to see. This one I think is the only metallic shimmer, and it's just, I mean, this is what I think of when I think of Bee's Knees. This pruggly base and then a loud, beautiful shimmer. This one definitely had more of a nude feel on me, and it will on you too, depending on your skin tone. If it's medium to deep, I think it'll feel kind of nude, maybe even if it's fair as well. And because of that metallic shimmer, it did dry down with just a little bit of brush strokes, but nothing to the level of like a pearl finish polish, just something to mention. So here's what it looks like in 3 coats. You can see that shimmer just really pops against that neutral base, and I'm not a big pruggly person personally, but I really, really enjoyed this one. It was so unique. And because that metallic finish, that metallic shimmer is so fine, it really gives a, like, I don't know, like a frosty, but in a good way, kind of chromy feel. It's very interesting and unique. So here's what 3 coats with a glossy top coat looks like in sunlight. And then here is what it looks like in that more lower natural lighting space. Very beautiful. And the shimmer just kind of takes over. The next shade is called Praise the Dog. This one is a sheer grayed out blue with strong pink to gold to green microflake shimmer, and it's going to be $14. If you're someone who finds themselves absolutely loving Bee's Knees Lacquer sheer polishes, this one is for you. You will adore this one. The shift in the shimmer is so vibrant, it's so apparent and obvious. And if you tend to steer clear of the more sheer shades like myself, I think this one would do nicely as a topper. The base is a little bit tinted, so over lighter colors you may see it a little bit, but I think it'd be pretty versatile in what you could layer it with. And it might be worth it because the microflake shimmer is very glowy. It reminds me of like Aurora shimmer, just the strong red and the copper and gold. This one was not a favorite either, but it's beautiful. So here's what 3 coats looks like with the glossy top coat. You can see my nail line again, but the shimmer really distracts from it, and I'm loving that shift from the red to gold. It's just so obvious, and it contrasts nicely with that cool bluish gray base. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the sun for this one, but here's what it looks like in lower outdoor lighting, and you get mostly that red shift head on, and then the copper and gold in indirect lighting. The next one is called Get Lobstered. This one is a sheer grayed out purple with strong green to blue microflake shimmer, and it's going to be $14. It's another one that leans a little bit on the sheer side. However, it is more opaque than Praise the Dog was. So again, I sound like a broken record, but that shimmer just took my breath away. I love that it's a more like microflake style shimmer, because to me it just makes it a little bit more obvious on the nail, and it just, I mean, it glows. It glows in this really pretty, more muted base. I did build this to 3 coats like I did all the polishes in this collection, and yeah, just something about this one just twinkled. In 3 coats, you can see my visible nail line just a little bit, but it is not super obvious. I want to add as well that some of these polishes have specks in them because they have neon pigment. That's just how it goes. So here's what 3 coats of Get Lobstered looks like with the glossy top coat. And do you see what I mean about the glow? Like, it's so pretty. The purple, the pink, the blue. It's like a fairy. And in sunlight, to me, it just looks like sparkling waters. I'm not even paying attention to my visible nail line. And then in lower lighting, I think I gasped. Like, it almost took on a pastel multichrome effect. It's out of this world. The next shade is called Maidenless, and this one's a sheer pale purple with a strong gold to green to blue microflake shimmer. This one retailed for $14 and comes with a note that it may dry with texture, so they recommend a glitter top coat or 2 layers of quick dry top coat. I'm so shocked to see that note because that was not my experience, but please, take note of that your bottle may have some texture. Personally, mine smoothed out just fine with a glossy top coat, but with these more flaky polishes, sometimes over time they do dry down with some texture, and maybe the next day, if I would have worn this for more than half a day, it would have, had texture. So this one was very sheer, like definitely topper material. I'm going to show what it looks like as a topper, because with that very neutral kind of pinkish base color, it blended in with my natural nail perfectly, like very lightly tinted base. The flakes were glorious. So here's what it looks like over black, so we can truly appreciate them. Like, come on. Another one that, even if you don't like sheer polishes, may be worth it to grab as a topper, because those flakes are precious. The green, gold, blue shift, amazing, just incredible. So here's what Maidenless looks like in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. Yeah, the base is definitely like a Your Nails But Better kind of base. In the bottle, it looks purple. On my nails, it kind of just feels like pink, like the color of my, my nail beds. And the flakies are what pop. So super sheer, very shifty, very light and ethereal. If that is your jam, you will enjoy this one. Here's what it looks like in the sunshine, and head on you get that gold flake, and then at extreme angles the green and the blue. It is very beautiful. Not my cup of tea on its own, but I plan to layer it over something, darker colors, or maybe even like a purple base. I think could be really, really pretty. The next shade is called Nokstella, and this one is a pink lion cousin. Get excited. I'm already excited. This one is a mid-toned purple base with pink to gold to green shimmer and a ton of hollow flakes. It's going to be $14.50. So if you're new to my channel, I am absolutely in love with all things lion related. The cousins, the siblings, I want all of them. They never let me down. This one was more sheer than I was expecting. You probably were like, oh, okay. But good news is it builds up well on that second coat. It never did reach full opacity for me, but I could enjoy that pretty base color, that like purplish base color. On the third coat, I could see it, but I definitely did have some visible nail lines still showing. Did not care, because the pink flakes, I love purple and pink together. This was so satisfying to me. And look at all that shift. Like, are you kidding me? It just had a very lit from within glow kind of feel, especially with the cooler, more dusty muted base, and then the fiery, bright, fun flakies. It's like there was a flame inside of my nails, and I was in love. Here's what it looks like in sunlight, and head on, you get that pink microflake shimmer, and then the yellow and copper at extreme angles, and lots of hollow sparkle all the time. I love the like diamondy effect of those. And then in lower lighting, it did kind of take on a multi-chrome effect. That shimmer takes over a little bit, and I enjoyed it. And then the last polish I have to share with you today is called the Golden Path. This one is a new gold lion cousin. It's a dark gold base with gold to green shimmer and a ton of hollow flakes. This one will also be $14.50. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it so much. On application, this one was a little bit more tinted, to my surprise. I was really expecting the purple one to be fully opaque in 3 coats. It wasn't. This one wasn't either, but it was very, very close. And because it has like a warmer base and my undertones are lean warm, I really didn't notice my visible nail line. I felt like it looked opaque enough for me in 3 coats that I didn't need some kind of base underneath this one. Here's what 3 coats looks like. And in some lightings, this one's gonna take on more of an orangey kind of look, the base anyway. And then in others, it definitely looks a little bit more yellow or like marigold. In my studio lighting, it looks more orange and you get the most beautiful, stunning golden glow from those flakes. Seriously, so beautiful. Here's what it looks like in sunlight, where it takes on a little bit more of like an orangey yellowish appearance. That is right up my alley. So again, I just absolutely loved that. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit more neutral, but with a twist. And then here is what it looks like in lower lighting. Those flakes just take over. Completely beautiful. So that was part 1 of Bee's Knees Lacquer Elden Ring collection. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. What shades stood out for you? Are you loving this collection as a whole? Do you like the variety of finishes and colors? I want to know everything. Once I started swatching them, I had some mixed feelings. You know, sheer shades are not my jam. So I was really relieved personally to see a collection that was not all sheer shades. There were a few sprinkled in there, but I know there are some people who absolutely love those. So for those people, I'm happy they had some of that. But for me, I was really happy to see some more saturated shifting shimmers, more opaque shades, and of course the lion cousins and siblings too. I think a surprise for me, like a surprise top pick, would be Get Lobstered. The really beautiful grayed out purple kind of ethereal shade with a glowy shifting shimmer. In the bottle, this is fantastic, but I just assumed it would be so sheer that you wouldn't get a lot of that base color on the nails. And I was very relieved when I put it on to still see that kind of grazy, hazy purple color. I also felt like the glowing shimmer in here, I guess it's microflake shimmer, just popped against this base. So yeah, this one was glorious. I was not at all surprised that I absolutely love the one called Is Cailead. Is that how you say it? Yeah, but this beautiful, like rich, bright, saturated reddish pink base with, again, such a glowy shimmer. This is what summer is to me. And I love when Bee's Knees sprinkles in some seasonal kind of colors into their collection. Like a lot of them are pruggly. I wouldn't wear those in the summertime, but this I would, and gosh, it's gorgeous. But for me, the crown jewel of this collection is the lion cousin called the Golden Path. Holy smokes, when I saw this the first time, I about passed out. The color of this, the shimmer, the flakes, oh, this, I see this kind of shade and it just reminds me of like sunflowers. Like this also feels very summery to me, but I would love wearing it in the fall as well. Heck, maybe even for like the holidays. Like it's so pretty. And to me, it's such like a unique it is everything, and I loved this polish. So let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments. Are you excited for this release? Are these colors speaking to you? Are these finishes speaking to you? What are you planning on grabbing? Don't forget the links you'll need to shop as well as all the details for the release are down in the description box for you. If this video was helpful and you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!